My name is Audrey and I am currently serving as a 2020 Pennsylvania 4-H State Council Vice President of Operations. Today, I will be demonstrating showmanship with my horse named Cooper. So, let's go meet Cooper. So this is my horse Cooper. His registered name is Tie My Sneakers. I've owned him for 5 years and I purchased him as a 4-year-old, and he did not know showmanship. He had not been trained showmanship when I purchased him. So it has been my project to put showmanship training on him, and I am excited to show you guys his showmanship skills. Demonstrating how to put a tail extension in for showmanship. So first, you're going to want to make sure that your tail is completely brushed out. No tangles, you want it very clean. And then you're going to take these hooks to hold up half of his tail so that we have it out of the way so we can get this tail extension in. So you want to find the location kind of at the end of his tailbone, and you're going to be grabbing pieces of hair and attaching your tail. So this is what a tail extension looks like. You don't have to have a tail extension for showmanship, but it creates a fuller look at the tail. So you're going to put that piece of hair in through the loops and wrap it around. Now everyone does their tail extensions a little bit differently. So here I'm going to be taking 3 different pieces and wrapping them in and completing it with a braid. So once I get 3 pieces in here, and I've got 2, make sure it's centered, grab my 3rd one. I go different directions with these just to make sure that we have support from all different directions. Once I get my 3 in there, I'm going to go ahead and braid this right in. This braid secures those 3 loops in the tail. Braid down a little ways. And secure it with a band. It's very important to make sure that your tail extension is in very tight and crisp, because we don't want to lose that tail extension throughout our show day. So once that tail's in, we like to get our tails to hit right at the fetlock of a horse. And we're going to secure it again with some electrical tape to kind of hide that braid and keep everything together in there. Again, to make sure that this stays secure throughout the day of showing. So after you get your tail extension in, we're going to let down that hair. Go ahead and finish that up with just a little bit of brushing. So here's the completion of the tail extension, and after we let down that hair, we just want to make sure that we brush that tail extension in and make sure it's blended nicely. And it overall just creates a nice fuller look of the tail. Another component for showmanship is making the mane look crisp. So for Western showmanship, we band our manes. So you want to start off by making sure that your mane is super clean, brushed out, no tangles, to get ready to be able to band. So I've displayed a few bands right here, the start of his mane, but I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate a few in front of you. So a few things to consider right now. It is in the middle of winter, and my horse's mane is a little bit long right now. I wouldn't have it this long for show season. As well as I wasn't able to bathe my horse in this cold weather in order to have a clean, crisp mane. So kind of working with a little bit of a dirty winter mane, a little bit longer than normal. And also when I band for show, I usually like my mane to be pretty damp. So so I usually do it after I give him a bath. But as I'm displaying right now, I am banding. I'm keeping that small piece of hair close to his neck. And every time I go around with this band, I'm not overlaying it on top of one of another. I'm trying to create a crisp look of these bands going around and laying side by side. So once that band is in, you can tell that it's not all the way up like the other ones. So you want to go ahead and grab 2 pieces from the bottom and gently pull that up until it creates a nice crisp look to the neck, and it's in line with those other bands. So again, we have some fuzzies and his mane really isn't that clean, so it's a little bit hard right now. And for show season, after I would band this, I would probably trim it about half of its length. So he has some growth on his mane right now. So again, I'm grabbing a small piece the same size as the first one we just did. I'm going around and wrapping it where the bands are side by side, not overlapping. So it doesn't have that clumpy look, it's very crisp. I want to make sure that band's in there nice and tight. Go around one more time here. And then to get it up on the neck like we want it, we grab 2 pieces from the bottom and gently pull that up to create that nice crisp look. So there's a demonstration of some Western bands. Another component to showmanship preparation is clipping. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to be clipping on camera, but I'm going to go ahead and highlight some of the areas that we do clip. So to start off, we clip their whiskers. We clip all around their muzzle right here. Then we go up behind and up their throat latch, and we make sure this is all clipped. There's a lot of whiskers and extra hair grown under there. And then we head up to their ears. We clip their ears, their inside of their ears, and then to finish it off up by their face, we clip their bridle path. So their bridle path is mainly clipped so that that halter can sit in there nicely. And so the bridle path, the length of the bridle path is determined by folding their ear back, and about the length of their ear back is how far we want to go ahead and clip that bridle path back. And to finish our clipping off, we go ahead and clip down our legs, any extra hair in the back here. We clip around their fetlock, all this extra hair, make it really crisp down here and around their cornet band. So those are just some of the areas that we clip and make sure are really crisp before entering the show ring. And we like to clip about a week before the show and then touch up around the show, just in case you make some nicks or any mistakes. Now I'm going to demonstrate what we do with our hooves on show day. So we use a product called Hoof Black, and we make our hooves black. And it's a messy product. You should always wear gloves when using it because usually it's right before the show and you don't want to get it on you. So we go ahead and we bring this little cotton ball down here, and you want to make sure you go right up along that cornet band, but not getting it on that hair, and cover his whole hoof with Hoof Black. And it creates a shiny, nice look of the hoof and really adds to the finishing touch of how your horse looks in the show ring. And that's how you do Hoof Black. So as I've said all along, showmanship is a lot about the preparation. It's a lot about making your horse look crisp, clean, and showing them off to their best, to your best of your ability. So I'm going to highlight a few products that I use to make sure that my horse is nice and clean and crisp, and basically the finishing touches of getting ready right before you walk in that show ring. So here's one of the products. It's called Show Sheen, and this is a gloss that you can spray all over your horse and brush them out and slick them down before you enter the show ring. Another product we like to use is baby oil. We use this around their muzzle, their eyes. We want everything to highlight and pop on their face as we walk in and display our horse to the judge. Another product to add to that baby oil is Ultra Face Glow. This face glow is also used around their muzzle and their eyes just to make everything pop. And then there's Finishing Touch-Up Show. This show touch-up is found in multiple colors, and this is to just kind of hide some blemishes and blend everything together and make everything look very crisp on your horse. So these are just some of the products, and there's so many products out there to highlight the finishing touch-ups of your horse, but All these products are used to make your horse look crisp and fancy out in the show ring.
Here are some pictures of Cooper and I, showmanship ready.
So now I'm going to be demonstrating some of my showmanship maneuvers, but before I get to that, I would like to talk a little bit about his showmanship halter. So yes, it's glitzy and it's glammy, but it's not all about the glitz and the glam. It's about the fit of the halter. So you want your showmanship halter to be nice and snug. You want it to sit up on their nose, up in their throat latch, and just be an overall good fit. It's not necessarily your halter that you would throw them out in the pasture with. You want this to be a snug, tight-fitting halter that you only use for your showmanship class.
So now I'm going to be demonstrating some showmanship maneuvers, and the first maneuver I would like to demonstrate is the pivot. The pivot is when horse's hind right foot is placed in the sand, and their body pivots around that hind right foot. So that's a demonstration of a pivot. So there I just demonstrated a walk to a trot and a back up. So notice that when I was walking and trotting, I was in motion and fluent with my horse. I kept my arms up like I'm holding a tray, 90 degrees at my elbows and my elbows into my side. I wanted to stay upright and tall as I maneuvered with my horse to make everything look very crisp. When I stopped, I made sure that I didn't just whip around into my horse. I made sure that I took a few steps and walked around and stayed on the right side of my horse as I backed him up. It is important not to cross in front of their face, as that results in a DQ.
Another component of showmanship maneuvers is the setup. The setup is performed at the beginning before you start your pattern and at the judge's inspection. So the setup is when the horse's 4 feet are planted square. You want your horse to be able to set up snappy and quick. So it takes a lot of repetition and practice in order for them to understand what you want them to do for the setup and to get their feet squared like this. So the last maneuver to a showmanship pattern is the judge's inspection. And this is when you have reached your judge and you set up your horse, and to show that you're ready for the judge's inspection, you want to make sure that your nose is facing inward to the horse's hooves. You have your arms nice and crisp at a 90-degree angle, and you look up at the judge and acknowledge that you're ready for him to complete his inspection. So now we're going to be demonstrating crossovers at the inspection. As the judge walks around my horse, the judge will hit the shoulders of my horse, and as he crosses those shoulders, I cross over to be on the same side as the judge as I'm showing off my horse. The judge nears the back of my horse, and as he crosses over the back of the tail, I cross back over to be on the same side as the judge. And when the judge hits my horse's shoulders again, I cross back over to make sure that I'm still displaying my horse to my best of my ability. And as the judge completes his inspection, he stands at the front of the horse and will acknowledge that he has finished the inspection with a nod. When the judge nods, you cross back over, and you have completed the crossovers in judge's inspection.
Now that I have completed demonstrating all of the maneuvers, I'm going to go ahead and work a pattern. In this pattern, I will be trotting from A to B. I will stop at B and back till in line with the judge. I will perform a 270-degree pivot, trot to the judge, stop, set up for inspection, and after inspection is complete, I will do a 90 and trot away.
would like to thank you all so much for tuning in to my demonstration video on showmanship. Now, showmanship is just a small portion of the equine project, and the equine project is just one of the many projects that 4-H offers. Overall, the equine project and 4-H in general has taught me perseverance, grit, and determination. I would recommend every one of you to check out the Pennsylvania 4-H program. Go to their website today and find your niche in this program. I've been in this program for 11 years, and it has taught me to strive to make the best better, to learn by doing, and always strive to be a future leader of tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you find your niche in this program because I don't regret any opportunity I have ever taken in this program.